Welcome back. Jonathan here from Some Talented People, and we're going into the customer experience. Yesterday, Dorothy was talking about the pre and post customer expectations and issues, and we're going to turn now to Manuel, because one of the things Dorothy mentioned was that it starts with employees, and in the previous conversation I've had with Manuel, he explained exactly that way of thinking. So give us your perspective.
Yes, as Dorothy was telling, employees are key in the customer experience. You can have an employee that is happy with your company, with your small business, whatever. And if he's happy, obviously the customer experience will be very good. But if they have problems, issues, losing their relatives or whatever, they will have a bad customer experience. So you really need to take care of the employee experience 360, meaning not only what you have to do for get the job done, also what's happening at home sometimes. Sometimes what you need to get that job done in terms of, okay, maybe your chair or your laptop is not working as it really should be. There's a lot of things. So really human resources function should be focused really deep in the customer experience, in the employee experience, to have a good customer experience.
Okay, and looking at the diagrams behind you, when you say 360, that's quite a good metaphor. I mean, people may not be able to read it, but it's a ongoing process, basically, from your perspective.
Yes, and in the circle on the left is what is organizational culture, what is all the means of this digital transformation vision. You can have all the technology that you want, but if you do not have the right organizational culture, the change management, and your employees are happy, in the center is the customer experience. You will have a bad customer experience. So,
Right.
so you will need to balance employee, technology, process to get a good customer experience.
Right. I think it's very interesting that Dorothy said that, the employee, was it Dorothy or was it you? The employee is the first customer. Who said
No,
that?
it was Dorothy.
Yeah, I mean, that's it's a very, it's an enlightened perspective.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know about you, but I've been in many virtual networking meetings over the last year or so, and I think it's not unfair that the observation that not many people operate to a business plan in the small to medium sector. So maybe if you're 10, 20, 30 employees up, maybe you then do it because you've got an accountant and stuff like that. But the small single entrepreneur, or 5 or 10, they seem to be running by the seat of their pants. How do you, Dorothy, demonstrate the value of what you can bring to the table?
Okay, very well said. Just like Manuel said, Jonathan, technology alone cannot cure what ails customer experience. This takes us into the dimension of the human resource, the employee, okay? So with the COVID pandemic and its far-reaching effects, we've got into a situation where nobody, not even the C-suite in organizations, knows what to anticipate and expect. So this is whereby creativity on the part of the employee, agility, and being able to think on their feet matters a lot. Okay? So like I was saying, Jonathan, the employee is the first customer. When the employee buys into the product, behind the employee, there are very many people. Okay? And if anybody wants to ask about the product, probably they'll ask their cousin who is an employee in that particular firm. So as everything gets disrupted, we have a lot of unprecedented changes. An employee can show their worth by being able to, one, be creative, because like I said, nobody knows what to expect, okay? But in there, every organization, every employer wants somebody who is a problem solver, not somebody who runs to them with problems, you know? So the employees that are coming up with innovations, that are thinking on their feet, that are flexible, you know, to work over and above the call of duty, and are not whining, and, you know, because we'll find a lot of leverage vis-a-vis the employee who is there waiting for the boss to tell them what to do. Yes.
Now, you see, not to be too controversial, but education systems around the world are built on these hierarchies, and they squash out creativity and individuality. So is what you're saying, I mean, what you're saying, I understand as being logically and sociologically and psychologically true, but I don't recognize it as being actually true with a lot of small business owners. They tend to be autocratic, micromanaging. Is that just me, or am I off cue? Manuel, what's your experience of the small business sector?
No, you are right. There, you can find in the small business sectors companies lower than 30 persons that can be really nice working with, and some others very bad. So it will depend on the way they were treated in the past. Unfortunately, the way they were educated, as you were telling. And education, and we have a long discussion with you and me in the past that the education needs a lot of things to do right now, because people is not being educated for the new things that humanity is needing right now. We have 6 centuries of educating the same way, and it also needs to change, also needs to transform. So in the end, if education is not changed for everybody, there will be still some small businesses that still will be having a bad attitude towards their employees.
That ultimately is not going to enable them to survive. I mean, already we've got, so I think it's 8 out of 10 new businesses fail within the first 5 years. And ultimately, if they're not agile, as Dorothy's saying, if they're not prepared to engage their customers in a different way, they're going to go. All right, well, look, I'll tell you what, we're going to take a break very soon, or in fact, we're taking a break now, and we'll be back tomorrow with more investigation into this, and we're trying to come up with some tips to actually help you. Certainly, if you're watching this and you're in HR, you're in change management, you're in marketing, connect with Dorothy and Manuel or me, because the difference between your business failing or not is how agile you are and your understanding of customer experience, not just in the abstract, but in the reality for your company. So have a great day. I'll see you again soon. Cheers.